Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your feast or had a good feast. This video has been something I've been having in the workshop for a couple weeks since before the Austin video, but just now I'm realizing how long this video is. So I'm gonna have a DLC pack, a part 2 that'll come out a couple days after this video, which this same thing, interview style, but it'll be my parents and my sister. The video will probably be another 30-40 minutes, maybe even an hour, who knows. But yes, I know this video is long, way longer than usual. If you guys are able to sit and watch it in one sitting, that's amazing. You could watch it, come back to it, whatever. But this is a very deep video. There's so much knowledge. Thank you to everybody who was a part of this video, specifically Thomas, Kenny, and my teacher. It was a blessing. It was an honor to have you guys on here to be a part of something greater. But I'll go ahead and have you guys watch the video. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy whatever day. It's a blessing to be alive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Introduce yourself to the people who may or may not know you.
So y'all, Kenny.
My name's Thomas.
My name is Ross.
Introduce yourself to the people.
How's it going? My name is Ross. I was his teacher, and I'm 34 years old, and I'm based out of Dallas, Texas. I'm very happy to do this interview with Alex, and I appreciate him having me on.
Of course. Thank you for joining me. All right, we're gonna start off with general questions, and then I'll go to person specific.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
When you think about who I am today, what to you stands out the most?
When I think about you today, what stands out the most? I would say the answer to that question is your purpose and drive, which is probably going to be a theme of this interview. I think a lot of people have ideas and they have thoughts of how to be successful, but then they kind of conform to what the status quo is. I think you're taking a chance and you're putting, not just having a dream, you're working behind it. And so I think when I look at the majority, most people aren't taking those chances and aren't working that hard. And so I would probably say purpose and drive more than anything.
What is one thing you've seen me grow in over the years? For the years that you've known me?
I would probably say your skill set, right? Because you haven't changed in what your mission is and what you want to be successful in. It's just you seem to be a lot more focused on it with the skill set to get there, right? You're much better at editing. You're much better at producing content. You're much better at linking music to it. You're much better at doing it efficiently. So by that, you have the tools to do it. So I think it's really about being closer to the goal and, getting success through that. So I forgot the beginning of that first part of that question.
How would you describe the kind of person I am? If someone
From like a student perspective or just in
You could
general?
do both perspectives, as a student and as a person.
I think you were a good student. I think, a classroom's a hard place to really find differentiation between people because you get 30 people and, maybe your previous teacher didn't give you a good day, so you're having a bad day with there. But as a person, I mean, you're wonderful to talk to. You have a good group of friends. You have purpose. You seem successful in your life. So I think that's I'm proud to be in this interview with you, and I think you should be proud of yourself. You seem to be doing well. So I would say very successful.
If you were to describe me in one sentence, what would it be?
If I had to describe you in one sentence, how would I do it? Purpose-driven individual with eyes on the prize. Right? I think you're balancing your work life, you're balancing your personal life, you're balancing your hobbies, you're balancing your skill sets. So I think I would say that's probably the best sentence I would say to describe you right now. And that's a complimentary sentence where I think a lot of people really are just kind of stagnant. They're in the same spot. But to make time in your off time to work towards something, that it's obviously important to you. I think that's how I would describe you. Someone with purpose, and you're driven and you're ambitious to get what you want.
That's a good sentence.
Appreciate you.
Person specific question.
Sure.
And then I'll have one or two for the end.
You got it.
What made you strongly believe in my goals? And entrepreneurial goals or creative goals?
Your goals are in general in like my class, for like my class and how it's produced.
You could do
Okay,
both as well.
so generally, we talked about this earlier. I think in regards to the way I approach economics, it's that at our school there's a ton of people who have entrepreneurial parents, right? Or they run little businesses. And so to me, taking an entrepreneurial spirit is a very great way to run an economics class, because you can learn something here, take it home, and grow your family and grow your situation. So I think that's the way I would do it there. But in regards to what made you a good student, or in this case, and that is that it's not so much the class time itself that I think really allows me, as we talked about earlier, to differentiate. It's that you are willing to stay after class and ask me good questions about being an entrepreneur, and understanding that generally experience is the best experience, and you're willing to learn from someone who's gone through a lot of things that you are about to go through. So I would stress that it was less about your in the class experience, but it was more the after the class and the before school, where you're asking me high level questions and you're trying to clearly develop some ability to figure out how to succeed, right? And so I think that's how I would approach it. I was more impressed with the outside the classroom experience than, not saying you weren't good in the class, but that's really what it is, right? The lingering to learn more rather than just doing the bare minimum or what everyone else is doing.
I feel it's pretty funny that you say that, because it's I think with nowadays there's so many people who don't want to learn or don't want to ask the questions that are needed to be asked as far as experience or knowledge goes.
Yeah, I think, I've taught 6th through 12th grade now, and as y'all get older, you certainly become less inquisitive, right? I bet if you did a chart of questions from 7th grade to 12th, you're going to see a extreme dip every year. Like 7th grade, I'm getting 15 questions a class. By senior year, it's can I go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
So you're right, and I think you're smart to realize, just like I'm asking my parents for advice, or I'm reading books from people who've learned previous to me, finding who can get you farther towards your goal and understanding who knows how to do that is very important. And saying I don't know doesn't make you weak. It definitely makes you stronger, right? And so that's, I think, what was really impressive. And you had some friends who were willing to like read books and really hone in on what we were talking about too. So yeah, I got to agree with what you said.
As my teacher, what stood out to you about the way I thought or learned?
As your teacher, what stood out about how you thought or learned? I mean, I'm going to keep sounding like a broken record, but it's not about the classroom, because there's so few metrics to determine differentiation between you, right? Because there's 34 kids in there that, how do you focus on one every day? You want to make sure everybody's got equity and everybody's got involvement with the teacher. So I want to revert back to just the fact that it's that outside the class experience of being willing to develop and grow and getting there early and reading books and watching the YouTube videos and stuff we talked about, and just things like that really separate a student from his peers. It's the classic, like, effort is everything for a teacher and for a student. If a student comes to tutoring, he's likely to be more successful in the class. If a student wants to learn about business and economics and building a brand, well, I'm certainly no expert, but talking to your economics teacher certainly about the basics is going to help. And I think that is really what I find to be the most impressive quality with young people, is the ones who have a mission, they have purpose, and they can find somebody that can either get them closer to it or guide them to someone who can, right? So it's going to keep sounding repetitive, but anyone who's willing to give up their most valuable asset, being time, to grow, is going to be successful.
What is one thing you hope I'll never forget as I continue my career? It could be something you taught me or a general idea. Same, you could give me both responses.
Something I taught you that I hope you don't forget. Okay, so I guess I would, so many quotes, right? I mean, we could sit here and give you 100,000 of them. I think I'll revert back to one that you probably know, and then I'll basically give my own opinion too. I remember when we were in class one time, I showed a video that I show every year. I can't remember the channel name, but they're interviewing a guy named Blake, and he's outside of a fancy restaurant, and they're talking about his experiences of just building a brand, and how can you afford to be at this restaurant? And a quote that always stuck with me was, we treat the janitor like the CEO, right? And no matter how high we get, how successful we are, I really, really like the message of that, right? Working in a school, the janitor deserves just as much respect as the principal. And so I really think if you can embrace that and, show kindness and empathy to those below you, I mean, that is a very, very marketable quality. And, even if you want to put a mission behind your business, that's going to be very appreciated by many, right? So I think obviously treat this janitor like the CEO, be kind to those under you. I think that's going to be a number one lesson right there. I think second, there's really two ways I'd approach this. In your position where you're trying to build a brand and build a future, I would always remember that the greatest river in America, the Mississippi River, starts as a small stream. It's very easy to look at big people and forget where they came from. I mean, you are going to start small and hopefully grow, right? And no one looks at the Mississippi River and says, oh wow, it starts at the size of a penny, but it does, right? So you really have to start small and just remember the journey and forget about the size. You'll get there someday, right? So, the biggest tree starts small. Finally, I think really my advice would be, the best way to find happiness in life is going to come through who you surround yourself with, the job you have, and the hobbies you have, right? So you really should focus on finding a few good people to really build a life with. You should really build your skill set around a career that you love. I think you're going to suffer if you don't. And finally, you have to have things that you can clock out and enjoy. You have to have hobbies, because if you're relying on other people or your career to drive your excitement, you're going to really struggle if either of those go bad. So you have to find something that motivates you outside of that. So I think as I just stated, having a good job that you love, having a hobby that you find to be enjoyable, that is always going to remain a hobby, and being around great people is going to be a recipe for success almost always.
Those are really important things.
Yeah, I've learned that.
That hobby.
Oh, 100%. I think these people that rely on other people for their happiness, what if they're busy? What if something happens to them? What if, there's so many reasons you have to be a little bit self-reliant on for enjoyment, for information, to develop skills, whatever it may be. And so to me, I think that's what I probably wish someone would have told me younger, when I'm working careers I don't like to basically pay the bills, when in reality I found what I enjoyed, and it was what I wanted all along. Who knew, right? So I hope that that's probably the three I would say with. I mean, there's a million, but those are probably the three I'd go with. But I think fundamentally you got to just treat the CEO or the janitor like CEO. That's fundamental from top to bottom.
Because I feel you'd never know what type of knowledge they may have.
Good point too. Very, very good point too. Like, the janitor may have been working there 30 years, seen 4 CEOs in and out of that building. Great point.
In our first interaction, what was your first impression? Any thoughts do a complete 180, or did any opinions change?
So, our first interaction, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think this was our first interaction. But our first interaction was in another teacher's room when you were sitting at a table. And I think I approached you because you had a jacket on that had FTP on it, and which is a very unique brand in our school. No one's really listening to that type of music, and that they're certainly not wearing that brand and that style. So being aware of what that was, and the kind of context behind the FTP and the bands and the brand, and I think Zach or whatever his name is, I think it's a great way to create discussion with you for someone I don't know at the time, but someone who will eventually end up in my class, right? So somebody said this one time, that the outside the classroom is the best way to get the inside the classroom to be a good experience. So it's like, if I know you're going to be in my class in a few years, creating that, relationship ahead of time over something that you clearly have a passion behind is the cheat code for a teacher, right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it was a strategic play to make you a good student for me from the get-go, because I obviously enjoy the brand and the music and stuff as well, but it was very unique, and that really is what I remember, is that interaction went pretty well, but also you didn't really know me, right? I'm just a guy coming and messing with your brand, or not messing, talking about your brand, but I do remember it being a pretty unique experience, because you got your own style, you got your own views and strategies, and so it was unique to see somebody that wasn't just a clone in our school, right? So I actually remember it being a really good experience, but until you really got into my class, that's when we finally kind of to know each other, right? But yeah, that's kind of, is that what the first experience was?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I think it was history. I think I stayed a little bit extra afterwards, and you just popped right in.
That's funny. Hey, you know what? It's funny how it works out, right? Small world, but yeah, I remember it being a pretty good interaction, and you know, it really is a cheat code for the teacher. Find hobbies that either you can relate to them about, or just figure out what they're about and just ask them, right? I remember one time a student asked me. I remember I was like a first-year teacher, and he asked me about, did you catch the Cowboys game this weekend? And I remember I said, nah, man, I was kind of busy. And then, conversation's over. He went to his seat, and that was it. And I remember thinking to myself, all I got to do is spend 15 minutes a week watching the Dallas Cowboys highlights or the game, and then I can create discussion with this kid every week till the end of school. So I just started watching the highlights, and it's like, dude, you catch a Cowboy game this weekend, dude, you know it. And boom, he's one of my best students. Right? You just got to find that relatable stuff. So that's what I remember specifically. It was kind of a lesson for me too, in that you gotta. It's more than just a classroom experience. It's the relationship outside of it too. Yeah, and the connection you build outside of just curriculum, right? So yeah, it was a good experience. I remember that, and you definitely stood out at our school. So that's what it was, right? Like, you were the only one dressing like that, acting like that, and so it was very unique, fun to talk to. And I remember it was probably I remember seeing the jacket a while and just seeing you for a while, but you never have a chance. I'm not gonna be like, hey, what's up? But it was like that one chance. It was like, we're chatting, right? Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. I remember that.
That was a cool interaction.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty sweet, and it worked out. So great stuff.
One last thing. If you could give me one message for the next 10 years of my life, what would it be?
You know what I would say? I mean, it all stems back to that CEO quote's a pretty good one, but shout out to that Blake guy. But there was another question I think you were going to ask me about the sewing machine, right? And one of the reasons I bought the sewing machine for you originally, and there was really two reasons behind it. One of them is because, you had a mission, you had purpose, you had an idea, you had the energy, the drive, whatever you want to call it. You just needed a spark. Okay, fine. Well, then I can provide that spark, right? That's no problem. I'm in the position that I can do that. I'm very honored to do it, and it was an honor. That's number one. So it benefited you in the moment right there then. Second is it teaches you that providing and offering when you're in a position of strength is a good thing, right? Because now you're always going to remember in some capacity that your teacher helped you when you asked for it, or whether you asked for it, I don't remember the exact context, but he provided for you and it was helpful in that moment. So it's good for two reasons. You're gaining a benefit for yourself, but you're also learning that helping others is rewarding, and it should be done, right? Because it's always now going to be in the foundation of your success someday. So I think if I had to push for something for you to remember as you continue on your journey, is that it doesn't always have to be about everybody. I mean, you got to focus on yourself and then focus on others. But when you do find success, you have to provide and remember to give to others. And you're going to find that it's a very rewarding journey to do that outside of, and even if you don't get credit for it, right? Like, we're going to get credit here and it's great and we're in an interview, but it's those unknown, really helpful moments that are really going to give you joy. And so I think it's stay excited about what you want to do and have purpose in your life. I mean, a man with purpose is a sight to behold. But I ultimately think you cannot forget to, as we said, treat those a little who either need help, or who maybe they don't even need help, they just need a little guidance, or maybe they just need a tool to get to their goal, right? There's always going to be opportunities that present themselves to you. So I think you should remember to, stay focused, be successful, and then through that, use your success to bring joy and success to other people, because it will compound. And by helping you, you'll help someone else, and you'll help someone else, and your kids will help someone else, and boom, we've made a web, right? And so to me, I think that's really what I would say. I don't want to pretend that life isn't about making yourself happy and your family successful, and but there is a arguably moral responsibility to assist others as well. And so find that balance that makes you happy, where you feel good about it and that you know you're doing the right thing, but also chase your dreams and go all in and be willing to take a risk. And so I would say that's how I would probably approach my next 10 years of my life if I were you. And you'd be surprised, it's contagious. Lead from the front and people follow. Like, you start doing that, it's going to happen. Your friends will do it, your family will do it, your people you help. So I think that's what I would do. It compounds.
Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate the interview. It was great.
Of course, thank you. All right. Introduce yourself to the people for those who may or may not know you.
Like first last name basis or like
Yeah, like your name, what you do.
if you don't know me, my name's Thomas. You may have not seen me on Alex's videos. What I do, just have a day-to-day basic job outside of work, style clothes, reaching that goal to become a model. Yeah.
Thank you for doing this, taking the time out the day.
No problem, bro.
We're gonna do general questions and then I'll do like person specific questions.
Alright.
What is one thing you've seen me grow in over the years?
One thing I could say that I've mainly seen you grow, like from the amount of time I've been knowing you since like we were like basically like little, I could say like character, personality. Like back then you were like quiet, I would say, and then like now you're like more open. That's one thing I would notice.
When you look at my journey, my current journey till now, what to you stands out the most?
How far you push yourself to get, because clearly I've seen like you go from like here all the way to there, while main people just like they don't really want it for real, but you, it's like I can tell that you want it based off what I've seen myself on camera, off camera.
Like, what was your first impression of me? Because what we first like actually met in what, second grade? Second, fourth grade?
Like fourth grade.
Fourth grade.
Yeah. Like, when I first ever seen you, low key, like, bro,
Bro,
when I first ever seen you,
yeah,
I was just like, I honestly thought you were one of like I want to say the weird kid, because you're quiet. Because like, if you're a weird kid, you're not gonna be the quiet kid. That doesn't make sense. But I would say like you were always that one quiet kid, like that would just go on about their day, just do their work and just move on. Like, it wasn't a bad impression or it wasn't a good impression. It was just like, oh, that's Alex. So, yeah.
and then we didn't really start getting close until high school.
Yeah, I would say like
How
high
was
school.
How was that like from your experience?
Getting closer to you, I feel like it was something that helped me, because you know how our friend group was. Like, yeah, we had our moments here and there, but it wasn't really a group that really had the same mindset or goal that I wanted to achieve. Like, out of that group, it would just be mainly me and you that had the same path that we wanted to follow. So I just thought that was a good add-on to have around me. And yeah, it wasn't always, hey, let's go tell Alex this. Hey, I tell Alex to come to us. Yeah, bro, we just grew together, grew a strong path, and now I see you as family, bro.
Oh yeah, like a brother for real. I mean, you already touched on this a little bit. What are some drastic changes have you noticed from childhood up until now? You could touch on what you already mentioned, or is there something else you wanted to add on to it?
Dramatic changes I've noticed. Yeah, I would probably just say the same thing. Like, just growing as a person, like how far you've come.
When you look at my career path, what do you honestly think about the things that I say I'm gonna do? Truly.
The path that you chose to follow, I feel like it was always meant for you to follow. Like, some people could say they're gonna do this and that, make videos, upload them, but yeah, they'll make a video, but then never release it. With you, it was like, I'm gonna make this video, this is the project I'm working on, and then once you get that done, you give everybody an update, and boom, you just drop. Like, you're ready to go. You're ready to finish a task one after another. So like, I never saw that as like that being hard for you or you having trouble with, like you're always the type to break a wall whenever there was a wall in your way to get to your goal, no matter what it takes.
Anything in my lifestyle or goals that you never expected?
I would low key say like when you would talk to me about like making beats, I like the way you are now, like with all the fashion and the clothes and stuff, and like documenting your journey. I wouldn't see you like actually sitting behind a computer, like actually cooking up like a beat on like FL or like BandLab or something. But you know, it's a thing for everybody that could try. But shit, you could surprise us. Maybe you'll come out with a beat. Maybe people like it, not like it. Who knows?
Later down the line.
All right, we're gonna be waiting,
We
bro.
might have some shit out.
Producer tag coming soon for Ali.
What's something you appreciate about our friendship staying strong for so long?
We always bring each other up. Like me and Alex have this saying, like the regrow saying with the little plant. So that's always something like I cherish between me and him. Whenever he's down, I'm always be there to, hey bro, like, come on, we gotta get to it. Cause I know like there was a time like during the floating, not floating world, the mixed market era, like we were like on top of things, and then that era it died out. So I don't know what happened, but I low key saw it as like, damn, like we low key in a drought right now. Like we got no events popping up. We got nothing to like be out there for. But then I realized like, hey, like we gotta get out there. So I'm making sure I gotta give you that drive. I'm making sure like I'm putting good things in your head, making sure you wanna walk that same path that you always wanted to take. And I appreciate that you do the same for me. Like with the streaming things and like wanting to become a model, like you helped me a lot with becoming a model, like opening my eyes to see like I could really do it. Yeah, that's what I appreciate between our friendship.
Thing about our friendship, I think it's very unique because we can be apart for as long as can be, but when we come back together, it's like there's nothing that happened. We just update each other. Oh yeah, this is going on,
Yeah,
and we're always true to each other. Like you said, we tell each other, hey, like you're lacking on this. You gotta
yeah,
do this. Same thing for you to me to you.
facts.
And I feel like, especially nowadays, that like friendship, that bond is something that you hardly see. And I appreciate how, I don't know, just how well we click, and how we can be very blunt to each other.
True.
Because I could tell you, like, this could be with someone else. Like, I could tell them something, and they'll be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, I know what I'm doing, whatever. But if I were to go to you, like, "Hey, like, this is what's going on," is what I think. You're open-minded,
Yeah.
which is something I can appreciate, and I feel that's how we've been able to stay strong for so long.
That's how I feel like everybody should be. Like you should never be a yes man. Like when I'm in the wrong, like I don't want you to be like, oh, it's gonna be okay. But like let me know I'm in the wrong. Like no matter like how long you know me for like 2 days, it don't matter how long, 30 seconds. Just never be a yes man, bro. It's not gonna go good. It's never good to be a yes man.
Mm-hmm. All that ass kissing for
That's
no
what I'm
reason.
saying. No reason. Just wasting breath for no reason.
Kind of an interesting one. When did you realize I was different from the rest of our friends or even kids in general? Boom. From the time we knew each other in school.
To be 100% honest, whenever the first time you came to school with your nails painted, like, I'm gonna be. I don't know if you wanted me to say that. Or not,
You can say it.
but whenever you came to school, like this was like the Lil Yachty concrete nail package era that time. So whenever around then, and then you actually came to school like with your nails painted, like I never had a comment on it because I always knew like, yeah, bro, he has a nail painted, but that don't mean he's indulging in other, you know. So it was like whenever others made comments about it, I'll just be quiet, bro. It's not like I wouldn't stick up for you to defend you, but it's like I understood like you were different, you know, like in a good way. So it never bothered me, never phased me. It was just like he act like he can't go home remove it if he wanted to, but if he wants to paint his nails, let him paint his nails. If he wants to do whatever, let him do whatever. It's not gonna phase me. It's not gonna affect me. So that's how I knew like you didn't care about what anybody else thought. All you cared about was like what you wanted to do for yourself and how you wanted to better yourself, no matter what look you took in life. So yeah, that's what I see on how you became different.
All I'm gonna say is, fuck everybody who was dog shitting on getting their nails painted, boy. Everybody's doing it now, bro. Fuck that shit.
Me, I like now like I get my nails done,
Yeah.
but just with the clear coat. If I want to get my nails painted, shit, I'll do that. And if someone has a problem with it, you can tell me, or shit, it's whatever. Just don't tell me. Tell me. I'm not gonna care what you say.
Facts.
That's how I see it.
It's the swag.
It's not something everyone understands.
What are you excited to see me do in the future?
Your first runway show. That's like the peak of like a goal I want to see you achieve. Like whenever I get that message of like, hey bro, like I did it. Like I'm gonna be walking this show no matter if it's Louis V, Dior, whatever it is. If it's a runway show that you're walking, I want to see it, bro.
That's hard. What's one piece of advice that you want me to carry for the next 10 years?
I would say never change who you are to make someone else happy. That's something I always tell myself. That's something I will carry. Like, if you're changing yourself to make someone else happy, it's like you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for that person. So it's like, what's the point of the change? So like, it's just always make sure to be there for yourself. Always make sure you're uplifting your family, whether they agree with you or not. Just always make sure to be who you are or be who you were meant to be. Never change for nobody. So that's what I would tell you, like, every day, and always like keep that in mind. Cause it's gonna take you far.
Yeah. What's one thing you think I still need to work on? Or would need to work on?
One thing that
It could be anything.
style wise, but like not in a bad way. Cause I like your style. Your style is tough. Like, who wouldn't like your style? But I feel like with style wise, I feel like you enter so many eras all at once. I feel like whenever you get to one era and build that one fit, you're next to that on to the next era. So I would say, like, if you could stick to a style and show everyone, like, oh, this is Alex's style, and then boom, you pop out with a crazy other style, I feel like everyone would be like, what the heck? Like, it's not even Alex for real. Like, he really just switched up his styles like that. That's what I would see. Like, I would want you to keep everyone on this same vision, and then just throw everybody off and just switch it.
Before I move on to the next.
Yeah, because I feel like right now it's like, oh, we seen Alex in that. Oh, we seen Alex in that. We see Alex in that. That's nothing new. So I want you, like, to give the viewers or whoever's watching, like, that crazy switch of, like, damn, like, I didn't know he could actually style something like that. And I would never see him in that. So yeah, that's what I feel like you should do.
What changes in... Wait, what did I say? What stayed the same about me no matter how much I've grown?
Not caring what others think. That never changed. Like, since 4th grade, I knew you didn't care what anyone thought of you. Whether it was, like, trying to bring you down or, like, talking about you, and then you heard it from someone else. And it never changed who you were. So I would say that you were stuck to who cares what this person says type of thing.
What's one story about us growing up that makes you laugh?
Like, within, like, a fashion world, or just, like, in general?
It could be fashion or in general, or both.
I feel like it would have to be, think last year when we had, like, our side quest era of just doing random things. Like, honest, that, like, the Halloween thing that we went to at the crib, I feel like that was, like, the most randomest night of me and you just doing side quests.
Yeah, that night felt like a literal fucking TV show.
Like, bro, it was just so random. Like, cars just try to do donuts. Like, it was just random. Like, a girl tried to bash her ex's window. I was like, bro, what's going on? Where am I at?
Bro, I find that day so funny too, because we clocked out same time.
Exactly.
Where they just got off work, went to this Halloween party, and just a whole bunch of bullshit was happening.
Too much of it. I was like, bro, we literally just got off the clock. What is going on? What are we watching? What are we looking at? Like, and that party was late even last minute.
Yeah.
That party was last minute. Like, we're supposed to be home because I knew we went to that Chipotle, and then
Oh yeah.
and then I called Joel to see if he found anything. Nah, and then I just found that, and boom, random episode.
I feel like my moment was, I forgot what it was we were talking about in Gonzales, but we were just dying for a minute. I forgot what it was, but dude, we were just cracking up. There was a lot. But there is this one thing, I don't know, like someone pulled up and we just gave each other that look and started laughing. Or just, I don't know, but something. We always were just dying, bro. But I feel like every time we come together, we were around each other, there was always something just hysterical going on.
Just random thing popping up.
And anything you want to ask me, anything you want to say or tell the people as a send off?
One thing I would ask you is how far are you willing to take it to reach your goal? If that makes sense.
What do you mean by how far, like
how far are you willing to push yourself? Like, are you like gonna do whatever it takes, or are you gonna be like, all right, I don't want to do that to avoid that situation, so I'd rather do this. Like, are you gonna like try to find a scenario to where like you can split it apart to have options, or are you just gonna go straight head on, like no matter what's in your way?
I feel like with how I approach things, it's very straightforward, straight on, especially with something that's, this is something that a psychotic brought up, that he had an opportunity in LA, very huge role, but they wanted him to buzz his head. I feel like with stuff like that, it just depends on my character in the moment. If I think that's worth it, or I know I'm able to achieve these castings that they tell me, that they're like selling me, like, oh, you could be a part of Louis Vuitton, this brand, this fashion house, if you just shave your head. I feel I'd understand that, but I'd want to find my, like, I know I could get to that same position without having to branch off and go down this path of shaving my head just for this. I feel with everything I'm very straightforward and would attack it head on than dancing around the bush or split it in the middle and do both at separate times, or depending on the situation, one right now and then the other later. But yeah, to answer your question, it's very just head on, attack it up front.
That's good.
Anything else you want to add or say?
That'll probably be like the only big question I would want you to know, because like I feel like that question, it would revolve around everything.
Yeah, it is very true.
So, yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time for
bro.
letting me do this. It means a lot. There you go. Alright. Introduce yourself to the people who may or may not know you.
So y'all, Kenny, model and actor based in Dallas, Texas.
Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Do you think it's important for models to help each other in the industry, and why?
Yes. Honestly, other than, well, depending on what stage and shit you're at, like, that's where you're gonna get most of your help. Whether it's, you know, for other people's social media, like a lot of models and stuff nowadays, they post like different videos, like simple shit, like what to bring in your model bag when going to castings, or, you know, whether it's tips on like how to like walk, how to pose. That's where I ended up learning a lot of my stuff before I was signed, like, to my manager. My manager, though, he taught me a lot of stuff, but no matter what stage you always want to have like other models, you know, in your circle. Whether it's other people that aren't as experienced as you. A lot of people that I usually talk to, because you'll know some people that have like worked with certain clients, some people that have went to certain castings with certain agencies or like managers, and they can teach you like what to look for, what to do, like all the do's and don'ts in the industries. But yeah, it's definitely important. It's like the same shit of like whenever you go to college, like having other people in like study groups and shit. Like, it's pretty much the same premise. But
Based on what we've seen, how would you describe my look?
your look,
My look.
okay, I definitely say commercial for several different reasons. Because you have to factor in everything as far as height, your facial hair. That's another thing that stands out. Me, I have like my face, like I have a little like shadow on the top, but usually I have to keep my face clean shaven just because of how my look is. I'm more of a androgynous looking model or something focused more toward like editorial or runway. Like that's why I always have to stay like clean shaven. Like this is the longest I've grown my shit out because I actually had to like grow it out just a little bit. Like I actually just shaved like 3 hours ago. They wanted me to have like a little scruff. I was like playing a nerd in like some movie, so they wanted me to have like a little bit of facial hair. But for you, even with your specific type of facial hair, like the way you have it now, I've seen many different models, like commercial models, and like for certain campaigns and like athletic wear, there's a lot of people that have like, I'm talking about copy paste that same thing, and a lot of like Latino models. That's what they'll take you. Height is also a big factor, as much as like, you know, it sucks. Like I'm for runway or anything like editorial, it's all about like how the client wants clothes to fit on them. For editorial, runway, shit like that, they deadass want you to be like a hanger, like just skinny and like tall, like so like clothes fits on you better, proportions, everything. Unfortunately, like even if you're like on like 5'10" and a half, 5'11", like first off, certain agencies won't even take you if you're not like 5'11" now, because then they'll want someone that could do like everything, someone that could do commercials, someone that could do runway. It sucks though, you know, that it's not like, I mean, there is a lot of opportunities based on like different height measures, but at the end of the day, it's like a very blunt industry. Like I remember whenever I went in to this one cast, and they were looking for people that like really tall people, like 6'3" and up, and I'm like 6'1", but I tried to like squeeze my way in there.
Put on some boots.
That's what I did. I had on some tall ass boots, and I tried to squeeze my way in there, and then like they turned me away at the door on some shit. They were like, take your boots off, and then they like measure me flat footed and send my ass home.
Damn.
But it's a very like blunt, you know what I'm saying, industry. But I would say that you have a good look, especially for commercial. Everything from your hair, like your eyes, like your composite of your face, you know, it'd be good. But yeah, I'd say pretty strong like commercial type of look.
That's kind of crazy. Like, you're the first person I've ever heard someone say, hey, like they basically want you as a clothing hanger. Nobody has described it like
Really?
that.
Bro.
From what I've seen, different people I've talked to, nobody has described it like that.
No, that's the perfect way to put it. Like
It really is. When you mentioned, I'm like, oh, you saw fucking a light glow in my eyes. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit. Do you think being multi-talented hurts or helps in the modeling industry?
helps, definitely helps. Cause bro, whenever I went to do modeling, like all I was thinking of was just doing like, I just want to do runway. I mean, everybody want to do runway. That's what's seen as like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like the top of the top.
That's what I'm saying. Especially if you are really into fashion, like everybody wants to do runway. But I said anybody that wants to do modeling or whatever, be open to literally everything. Like whenever I was training, I was working with my shout out Willie Johnson. Like
Shout out Willie.
That boy got me ready for everything. Like before expo, before everything, like we was really sitting there like polishing our skills, but like for everything. So whenever we go there, you're like multifaceted. And a lot of the other people that were there, they weren't, and like you could tell the difference. Like he had us taking acting classes, we did runway classes, we did stuff we did like posing classes for commercial and like editorial. So like I said, I wanted to doing like just regular modeling and shit. But like I've gotten a lot of shit for acting lately. I've done a couple short films, and 2-3 weeks ago, I did my first movie. And like this was a big production. Like I signed an NDA, so I can't like talk too much about it. But it was a big ass production. Like I ain't never seen like cameras like this. I never seen like light works but they had me like put this like the mic and shit like stuck in my shoe, and then like the wire and shit. Like I was really like mic'd up. Like I never did no shit like that. And that was my first like movie, and I never thought that I'd be doing movies. I never thought I'd be acting, but people always told me like I had good facial expressions and like my energy or whatever. And like now, like I feel like I could really learn like lean into acting, you know. But it's always best to be as, cause like even if you don't think that you could do something, there's gonna be somebody else that could think that you're perfect for that role. Like a casting director, they could have like a whole like a mock, like each character there's gonna be like a description of what they wanted to look on screen. So it'll be like Angela, like 22-year-old black female, I mean, but like this type of energy, or like Carl, this nigga like 32, like nerd, like whatever. And they already have like every casting director and the director, whoever you're working with, the producer, they all have like an image of what they like want, like who they think, who they're trying to assign to the name. But then they can see you at a casting that like you didn't think, you know, that you would get, or like you go like in an audition and they're like, wait, nah, I could actually like something, you like spark something in their head that they didn't like even think of before, and then that's what's gonna like get you the role. So it's like never like try and box yourself into like anything in this industry, because it's like it's so wide open. You just gotta, you know, really take whatever you can. But like even whenever I get like my LA agency, they sent me an audition the other day. It's for this one commercial, and I'm like, bro, like why would I do that? Like this shit sound like it's not for me. I don't even think I could do this like right if I wanted to. But then you look at the rates. You look at the rates of them niggas are paying, bro. Hey, that shit'll make you complete an audition real quick. But like aside from that, it's like you never know which one you get. Which one could be a big break. Like I do some shit in New York, and then an agency in like Milan or something see me doing that, and then you know what I'm saying, then I could get something over there.
Well, that is true. You should never ever box yourself.
That's what I like. Whenever I first got into it, I said, bro, that's what I was doing. I was like, I don't want to do like fashion shit, some editorial shit. I wasn't even like focused on commercial shit. But commercial, bro, that's where the money is. If y'all niggas trying to make money, get into commercial modeling. I'm talking about, bro, you go look at like some like the money that they're throwing around. It was like 12 bands for like one job. 12 bands plus they give you an extra 20% for like usage, and they pay like your day rate. So it'll be like a 500 per day. They'll pay you for the fitting, another like 300, 20% like for the agency fees, depending on like if you have a manager or agency. Yeah. So we're talking about like upwards of like 16, 17 like for one job. You know what I'm saying? That's what some niggas don't make in like months. So compared to like if you do like Louis Vuitton, like a runway, they're not gonna pay you shit compared to like what Macy's will pay you for a commercial. Like it'll be like Macy's pay like 5 times as much as that, and a lot of people they don't get that, because you know they think like these luxury brands are, you know, since the ticket item or whatever like they're trying to sell costs a lot, that they also pay them much. Now they do pay, like the sweet spot between the two would be like campaigns for like major things, because then that's gonna be like that commercial aspect, but with high fashion.
Yeah. I feel like this goes into what we already were talking about. How important is it for a model to build a brand beyond just the photo shoot?
This is actually something I'm working with like right now. I'll say the market is very saturated, and it's getting harder to definitely like differentiate yourself from other models. But it all comes down to, cause like you go to a casting, and like okay, you a model, like you know you look good, you look somewhat good, but you get in there and it's nothing but other niggas that look good. Like, am I supposed to curse?
Now you're good.
Oh shit, bro, it's nothing but other people that look good. Everybody has the same build as you. Everybody looks good. It's nothing but pretty niggas up there. Like you gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? But what's gonna separate you is like your own personality, your own like what you have going on, your charisma. What brands see of you on social media. Social media is such an integral part of like modeling now, which it wasn't even like 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. But me, I've been lacking on that shit. Like I've been saying been trying to get the ball rolling on like my short form content, my fucking like long form like YouTube vlogs, cause I know, you know what I'm saying, I have shit that people want to see. Like I be doing this some shit, I be getting around, you know what I'm saying, but I just haven't. And I feel like that's already in the short time that I have been in modeling, cause I'm still like growing. I feel like this has already hurt my, if I was taking it as seriously, or at least the social media side. I'm very like honed into my craft, like modeling as a whole, but as far as like social media, whether it be streaming, anything like that, I'm not like, all of you posting is fit pics, and like that shit, that's not gonna do a lot for you. Like if a client is trying to look at your page, like I have a regular page, and then like another one that I just post like modeling stuff on there, and that shit, I mean, shit, it's damn near dead. Like I be posting it on it every once in a while, but I don't be having no clicks or nothing. But it's definitely an integral part to build your personal brand. Once you have that brand out there, then that's when you start having clients reach out to you for shit. Not only your manager submitting you this stuff, or you go into like these different things. That's when you have like clients reach out to you. And like I've had people reach out to me, like this movie that I did, they reached out to my manager for me. Like they wanted me based on like what they've seen in whether it's previous posts or previous auditions and shit. Like the producers, they found me and they wanted me for a role because I fit that thing. But as you get your face out there, then that only increases. So then you're gonna have a lot more people reaching you out, whether it be just for, even if they call your ass out for like, a casting, and you don't get the help, because mind you, they're gonna be calling another 50 other people too. But you just have to increase your chances of getting your face out there as much as possible, and like building your personal brand. It starts like anybody doing it needs to get on a day one. Like I'm saying all this now, but like it's probably gonna take me another like week or something until like I record a video, put some shit out. But I really should get on it. But it's definitely now more than ever trying to separate yourself from all of these people. It's a very, very key part of it.
I feel like, especially now, like you said earlier, social media being such a big thing, you could be in the lineup of like 5 guys and y'all look the same, but just because of that brand you built, the people, like, they're looking for their model. They're like, oh shit, that's that guy.
Yeah.
And we need him, because it's like a help me help you. You're already pretty popular. This is a brand probably already well established, but they're like, hey, this could bring more attention to us. Exactly. And also more attention to you because, well, you're working with us.
Definitely. Yeah, bro. It's like it adds, like, based on however much popularity you have on social media, or even outside of social media. Even if you have popularity, so in Dallas, all the creatives, whether it be like movie producers, stylists, makeup, hair and artists, everything is a very like tight knit like group. Once like my manager Willie, he knows everybody. If Willie doesn't know you, or if you don't know Willie, then like you're not popping. Like you're not doing shit in Dallas for real. Cause like everybody gets around to knowing everybody. So even if, forget about social media, if you go to one job and then you have like a really good like you're punctual, like you show up on time, even if you're a actor or a model but you're helping out on set, you're being nice to the hair and makeup, whatever it is, if you leave a lasting impression on those, like everybody is gonna remember that. The casting director is gonna remember that. The producer is gonna remember that. To where and then once that like word gets around that this guy, we really like working with him. Oh yeah, it's the guy from last time. They might not even remember you, but the guy that wore the beanie or some shit like that.
Energy.
Yeah, the energy. Like people feed off that, and then forget social media. That's gonna be what's like number one out of anything. So then those people, like they'll call you back. Once you start working in, like you meet these 6 people, those 6 people go to someone else. Like this producer might be talking to someone else, like another director, and they're like, oh shit, like you need someone that looks like that? I know this one guy, you'll be the first person that pops into their mind, and then boom, it's nothing for them to get contact information, and that's an opportunity just from how you carry yourself, just from like how you are. So it's another, like, personal brand isn't just about social media, but it's also about like just you. Apart from just being you, like people can also tell when you're trying to like kiss ass and when you're trying to like be superficial for that fact. Like, you have to be genuine, be yourself, because that's gonna be your brand. Whatever facade you try and put on for like other people, it's not gonna work. You can only keep that up for so long. Like, you'll eventually crack, you know. But yeah, personal brand is definitely key.
What is one thing you want me or even the audience to remember as we go into the industry?
Yeah, that's tough. I'll say there's a couple things that I could touch on. As blunt as I could put it, it's a very like business heavy industry. I know a lot of people go into it, you know, because like people like they like fashion and then they want to become a model and like this shit. But like frankly, like I wouldn't say that this is an industry for aspirations. Like as bad as that might sound, I don't know why people see modeling, and I did too. People see modeling through this lens of it not being the same as other industries. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many examples you can see this, but yeah, people see like modeling as it's something fun to do or something. But it's like people don't understand how business oriented this is. Like, people aren't gonna sign you to have fun or just because you want to be a model, just because any of that. Like, they're signing you to make money. And like, if you don't make, like, let's say you don't make money or you're not doing anything, you're not gaining traction by yourself, you're not taking it seriously, you just want to be a model. You just want to model just to be a model. Like, they'll drop you if you're not adding anything to the agency, you know, shit like that. They'll get into, I feel like a lot of people, they get into it for self-validation. Like, they want to go to castings to think that they're whether the best looking or charismatic out of a group, or to think that they have something that other people don't, or maybe they just want to be told that they look good, or they just want to be in front of a camera, you know, like they like the feeling of being the focal point of attention. Like, there's a lot of people that do it, and I'm talking about like they spend a lot of time on stuff that wouldn't propel their modeling career, like a lot of stuff just for fun. They'll do a lot of shoots and stuff with like certain photographers, but then like the concepts, the stuff that they're wearing, whether it be the makeup, everything as a whole for the shoot, whatever they're doing, like it is something that would never be able to be used in like in a real model's portfolio. Like, it wouldn't be able to add to your book. And then there's like these people that they'll spend all this time on, you know, going into like different like shit. I just call it bullshit. Like, they're just doing like these regular shoots and shit with like their friends that is photographers and stuff. But then they'll also at the same time like tell you that they want to get signed. Like, they'll tell you that they want to, you know, do this and that, like actually be in the industry, but it's like y'all's work isn't reflecting it. And I get it. Some people do just want to like go do like fun concepts and like shit like that, have their hair like however, but it's like if y'all aren't willing to compromise and invest in yourself to like actually become a model, and it's like y'all just be spinning your wheels. Like, I don't really get that, and I see that a lot, especially now on social media. Like, a lot of people, they won't be taking it seriously, or they'll like try and pursue something that they're not gonna be able to do. Like 5'2" girl trying to focus on doing runways, and like she's doing like all these like small local runways, trying to get like pictures and shit like this, and like she could have like a perfect commercial face, but she's not, or like a face for like beauty or like some shit like that, and she's not focusing on that, but she's focusing on runway. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, you know, I don't know. A lot of people, they really like, if you're gonna get into this, if you plan on making money, if you plan on making a name for yourself, like, you really need to find what you can be good at. And a lot of times you're not going to be able to tell yourself what you're going to be able to do, or you might not know all what you can do. Someone like, you need someone definitely to look at you, sit you down, and someone that's experienced, someone that knows what they're doing, not just like one of your friends or some shit, you know, that could tell you whatever you want to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say that's number one. Number two, damn, I had that shit right on my tongue. I started talking about the other shit. Like,
You do bring up very, very important points that are vaguely ever spoken on or just not spoken on at all. Because at the end of the day, it's a business. And when you put it in that perspective, I feel people will start to understand,
yeah,
I do need to make compromises. I do need to do this or that.
yeah, like, bro, even right now, like, I'm in a dilemma, cause whenever I got scouted by this one New York agency, and this was a pretty big agency, like, they're pretty big, and she straight up told me, like, for the clients and stuff that we work with, now this is New York, they're doing everyone same build as me, like my look, my face structure, everything that I have going on is perfect for it. But she straight up told me, she was like, with my clients and everything, the way that I have my hair, like, so even now, you know what I'm saying, you see these hoes clean as fuck, right? And they look tidy. But the way that these clients, you have to understand, like, who you're gonna be working with, who you're gonna be working for. Like, these casting rates, a bunch of, like, old white ladies, old white dudes, you know, and the people that they're trying to reflect for their brand, and it's nothing to do with, like, race or anything, but she straight up told me my hair wouldn't have been suitable for her clients, or, like, how they would market me based on, like, my face, because I would be doing editorial, like, campaigns, runway and shit like that. And whenever she told me that, I didn't want to believe her, and I'm saying, like, okay, like, she straight up told me, she was like, look at, like, all of these different brands, like, if you look at, like, fucking, like, Hermes, like, I'm talking about, like these brands, like, I don't know, like Prada, like Prada's a very good example, and, like, this brand has people walks for Prada, model for Prada, like this agency, and she was like, look at all of these brands, look at their campaigns, their runways, with very few exceptions, you're gonna find black models with long hair, and whether it be, like, locks, twists, like, I wear all, like, I have stuff in my catalog, I've done shoots, I've done movies with all different types of hair, but, like, this, even no matter how clean it is, and I have, like, if you look, you'll see lots of models, people with long hair, the most common style, like, black people with long hair, the most common thing you'll see on the runway is, like, these, because it is very uniform, it's very clean, but, like, this would rarely ever touch a campaign. And she straight up told me, she was like, I would like to sign you, but I think you should probably try it out first. And I'm signed to a different New York agency, like a different New York agency took me. But she straight up said, she was like, yeah, try it out for a year. And honestly, if you don't see any traction or anything with your current hair, even with the many ways that you cut that you have your hair, like, you should probably consider cutting it. And I love my hair, bro. Like, this is literally me. Like, I can't imagine myself, like, if I were to cut it, and like I said, I'm in the dilemma now because I'm actually considering cutting my hair. I think, although it would be a compromise, you know, I would be able to take that next step in my career. Like, you know, I wouldn't be, like, cutting it all the way down. It would be, like, a small, like, curly fro, like a natural fro. But that, with my facial feature and my look, I know I would take off with that. But, like, cutting my hair, though, like, I don't want to think that I'm losing my individuality to conform for other people, to fit a client's need, you know? But it is about compromise, and it has been something I've been considering, but you also have to think about it with my hair, the way it is now, and the many ways that I can wear it, like, that opens me up to different opportunities. Like, I have one friend, we the same agency, his name is Ron. He had, like, super long locks, dyed, and, like, he's been, like, working like crazy, but it's just because his look, like, a lot of casting directors are looking specifically for that. So it was like he got, like, a big, like, Kia commercial, and it was, like, crazy, like, shit was going crazy, right? And I know we got dumb bread off of it, like, you know what I'm saying, for straight up, like, flat rate usage, and then, like, you know, you getting residuals and other shit, but, like, either way, you just have to think about, like, where you want to go, because either way you're gonna box yourself in somehow. Because whenever I cut my hair, I wouldn't be getting the same amount of different opportunities that I would, like, if you look at like Nike's website, they'll probably have like somebody on there with like twist the locks and cutting, and they're like athletic brands. They're like certain brands that want specifically that. But like you just have to think about, you know, which way you want to go with it. But modeling is another thing where, like, think about it. Whenever you're an employee for someone else, you have to wear their uniform. You have to, you know, be accustomed to their rules and everything while you're working for them. It's the same thing as a model. Like, whenever you are signed to an agency, you have a manager, you have multiple agencies, these people are going to be controlling your looks. They're going to be controlling, you know, what you want to do. Now, me, if I wasn't modeling, bro, like, pretty much you can't customize your character how you want to. If I wasn't modeling deadass, I'd probably have like a lot more tattoos, probably like a fucking dermal piercing, some other like crazy shit going on. Like, I probably would have dyed my hair by now, but I literally can't. Like, I already do have like certain tattoos, like a big one like here, but like if I were to cut my hair how I was just talking about, I'd have to check in with everybody before I choose to make that move. I had to check in with my manager, then my agency in LA, then my agency in New York, and then it could get to a point to where like if they wanted me for that specific reason, like the like variety, like the versatility of my hair, then I say I'm gonna cut it, they could possibly drop me. Although I am on a contract, they could stop marketing me, they could stop you know, like, and then whenever my contract's up, they could just let me go, because they might not want me with my low hair like that. But although modeling, it is, with your personal brand and everything, individuality is key. But like I said, you're not gonna be able to have the freedom that you want to. You're gonna have to be always like show ready, always client ready, because you never know what's gonna pop up. Like earlier, my agent, he sent me an audition and stuff that I have due like later tonight, but it's like Cali time, so you know, I got a couple hours, like, you know. But like, you always have to stay on 10. You always have to be clean groomed. Like, depending on which, like I said, I just shaved like right here. Depending on like what type of client this is, I might need to go shave this. You need to always be like show ready. Like, if my hair isn't always done, that could be a problem for me, because if I have my hair not done for like 1 or 2 days, like on an off day, like, yeah, you just want to look at how your decisions like really, and like your looks and everything, you know. Because I think, shit, I might go through it, I might not, but this is something I really have to sit down with my manager, because that nigga, he knows the business, bro. Yeah. If it, as far as like, because he's been in the industry 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's managed all different types of talent. He has people like signed all over the world. He will know, even if like something happens to where I get dropped for someone that's gonna sign me, like that same agency that was scouting me, they wanted me then. Her name was Katie Brown, the casting director. Her and him is like this, and they've known each other for a while. So like, if I get dropped by agency A, then he'll know how to get me into agency B, and he could consult that before, you know, I even make the decision. So, it's definitely like very, like, it's crazy how strict it is. I didn't think it was gonna be that. It's like, I always, you know, you always have to stay on 10. You never know when you're gonna have to meet a client in real life, or when you're gonna have to submit a video, do a walk video like that, like at any part of time, especially when you're working at people in different time zones. You could be like getting ready to go out on the night, or getting ready to, like, I don't know, go to sleep, and then you get an email saying you need a walk video or some shit, then, you know, you gotta go do that shit now. But it's always like, you have to be prepared to like always keep up with your appearances. Like, I know that shouldn't need to be said whenever people are like thinking of getting into modeling, but I don't think people understand like how it is. Like, everything from like, I usually keep like my nails fucked up now, but I usually keep like a little clear coat on my shit. Hands are a very integral part, but it's like you need to have everything, you know what I'm saying, like crisp and clean if you want to make it into this industry. I'll say those are like the two major things, like how business oriented it is, and then how you yourself as the model need to like hold yourself, maintain looks, and like the different restrictions and stuff that you need to think of. If you're not willing to do that, or like willing to make compromises, or like invest in yourself, then I wouldn't recommend that. That's another thing, investing in yourself. Whenever you get into this industry, you're going to be bleeding money. You're gonna have to be doing a whole bunch of shit that is supposed to propel your career forward. And then you're gonna be doing a lot of free shoots. That's another thing, you're always gonna be doing free work, free shoots, all types of stuff for free. So don't ever think that you're gonna get out of that. The biggest models still always are gonna do free stuff. But whenever you just not start out, you're only gonna be doing free stuff because you're not developed, no one knows who the fuck you are. You're still gonna have to be developing yourself, you know, getting yourself to that point to where people will pay your day rate, whatever it is. You're gonna be bleeding money. Test shoots and shit are not cheap. Stuff that not your like homeboy that's a photographer, not your homegirl that's a photographer. Credited photographers that agencies rely on and work with, their test shoots are gonna be a lot. Like base packages, I was looking at one photographer, he's really great. Like base package, it was like, you gonna do something where it comes with like only maybe like 3 pictures. And niggas like, what? Like you only get 3 pictures? And I'm talking about like hundreds of dollars. One package, you could do something that'll come with a stylist, hair and makeup. I was just looking at this one photographer in Austin, and you get 6 images. Now these images, you need to make them worth it. You know, you need to polish on your posing and everything. But these 6 images plus the rate, everything, like that's gonna be, you know, I think it was like $700, everything included. And there's a lot of people that aren't gonna be willing to do that, and they're gonna try and cut corners, do a small photo shoot with this, or try to do it themselves. And it's like, you can't, those photographers, they have that rate for a reason. Agencies rely on them to have stuff for their models because they know that that's what clients are gonna look at, and that's what's gonna get them booked by those clients. So that's why these photographers can charge however much they want for their crafts, because they know what they're doing. You're not gonna be able to replicate whatever you think that you know about, you know, photography or some shit. But whenever you're in it and you're having to juggle all of like these different costs, whether that's you're gonna have to buy new clothes whenever you get into it, stuff that's fitted directly on how you're gonna be marketed. Like me, you're gonna have to buy, like, I mean, I've always had, like, you know what I'm saying, the different clothes. So I don't really had to buy too much, but like there'll be like certain stuff that you're gonna have to get based on whatever niche you're trying to fit in for modeling. But whenever you're buying clothes, you're paying for test shoots, you're doing all this shit, and you're not making any money back for it, like, and then also it's taken out of your time, because that money doesn't come from nowhere. You're gonna have to have other forms of income. You know, it's gonna be very taxing, and people aren't gonna be willing at the beginning to invest in stuff. That's where a lot of people, they like burn out, or they don't, you know. But it also comes down to how bad do you want it. Like me, I wouldn't mind. I know I'm gonna get a return on investment of whatever I put into myself, because I'm me. I believe in myself. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what people will be able to see in me. And a lot of people, I don't think they could say the same. If they did, and they would be taking themselves a lot more seriously and investing in themselves. But you don't see that a lot. You see a lot of, like, I wouldn't even call it, it's not frugalness, but it's like people being lackadaisical about their journey in modeling. But yeah, definitely be ready to invest in yourself. It's gonna hit you harder than you think it is, because it's gonna be sometimes where you hit a photographer up and then he's not replying. Some crazy shit happened, like you blow 2 tires on the side of the road or some shit, and then he hits you up later that day saying, do you want to put a deposit down for a test shoot next week? And it's like, you know, life is gonna life, but you have to be able to invest in yourself and overcome like whatever, you know, challenges that you go through.
I feel you already touched on this somewhat. How important do you think presence is in this industry beyond just the looks?
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, everything to how you treat other people, how you carry yourself. Presence on social media again is key, but everything from how, like, if you're in the lobby and then you accidentally knock over something of somebody, and then like whenever our agent was explaining it to us, like whenever we went to this one place, they were like, people's gonna be like looking at you 24/7, so like you need to really carry yourself accordingly. And I mean, I guess that goes for life, because you never know who you're gonna run into. But like, whenever you get in these certain spaces, you don't know who's who. So it's like, you can like bump into somebody and you feel like real kind and, you know, say, excuse me, help pick up whatever they dropped or something and carry on a conversation with them. Even like a janitor or something, you're being nice to everybody around you. Even if you're not interacting with someone that can put you in a place of opportunity, then someone else might see that. You never know who's watching, but if you command, like if you look good, people's gonna look at you. If you carry yourself a certain way, people's gonna look at you. So if they're always looking at me, to make sure that you always staying on 10, having a presence that's welcoming, people that, a presence that like people wanna be around. Cause you never know what's gonna be up. There could be some dude, like you once said, some dude back there eating bagels, right? And then he could be like that director's friend, but like he's just coming in watching in, you know, just, and then like they finna go kick it later. So he's really chilling. But you could do something like backhanded or something that he might not like, and then that could, even if it's not something for a job that he has, that could affect something else. He could tell somebody else something, you know. If your name gets out there, then people are gonna start remembering how you act, how you move, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely like a very, very big part. Just presence overall.
It's funny, touch on like how you brought it up, even if it's a janitor. Something my teacher said was treat the janitor like the CEO. Because like you said, you never know who's who. It could be some guy in just a t-shirt, and that's another quote. The most dangerous man is the man who's just in the t-shirt.
Because you never know, man.
You never know. What do you think is something beginners focus on too much and something they don't focus on enough?
Focus on too much? Number one thing that people focus on too much whenever they start out is others. Modeling is a very jealous industry. I don't care what anybody says. People say that they're not jealous. This, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, it is like me. Definitely have been jealous multiple occasions. It's just because of the nature of how, you know, the industry is. You have, like I said, you go into castings and stuff. Everybody in there looks good. You know that you're there for a reason, just for you to go and not get picked. And then you see these other people, and then you're automatically gonna start comparing yourself to them. Oh, this guy doesn't look better than me. This and that. What, they picked him? You know. It's just, but that's just natural human nature, especially whenever you get to a point of you've done work before, you've booked stuff before, like you know that you're at a level to where, like, how could these people not take me? Like I said, it's natural. People are gonna be good-hearted about it. Like someone books a job, you're like, oh my god, like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be happy for them, obviously. But it's like human nature. That 1% little thing in the back of your mind is gonna be like, damn, that could have been me. Damn, that could have been my job. Shit like that. But it's definitely a very like jealous industry. People, you're definitely gonna try not to. It's gonna happen, but try not to focus too much on other people. But it's inevitable. It's all about. That's how you're gonna grow and learn. Now, where I'm at, I don't really see. It doesn't happen too much. I think I've kind of grown out of it. I'll say in the early stages, you definitely, especially whenever you're investing all of this in yourself and you're like, where is this return coming from? Then you can see somebody that barely did the shit, 1/8 of the work, 1/8 of the investment of what you thought they made, and then they booked something crazy. It was like, damn, I did all this work for nothing. How did they get that in the like less amount of time, less work, all that shit? But it's like, you know, it's just gonna happen. You never know when your opportunity's gonna be, but just try not to focus too much on other people. What you should focus on more, connections. I definitely say connections. This, like I said, bro, especially in Dallas, I'm not sure. I'm still getting familiar with other markets. It's like Dallas is very close knit. Once you know one person, they'll bring up a name of 3 other people that you know, and then it'll just go on and go on. Excuse me. It'll just go on and go on after that. But you want to have a lasting connection with everybody. Right now, like since I've started modeling, like my contacts is like 10x. I have so many different models, photographers, I have a whole bunch of makeup and hair artists, like sound effects guys, like and this is also for whenever, because in the future I don't always want to be in front of the camera. I have different aspirations and stuff I want to do for whether it's making my own brand, my own media, film, anything like that, music video, whatever it is. You never know who you're gonna need to call up, or that person that did something perfectly for you while you're just like sitting down getting your makeup done. You might not know if you have a concept that you could think of that's the only person that could do it. So like connections in modeling is so key, but it's also like just in life. But it definitely will extend on to whenever you get into the later stages, because modeling isn't going to last forever. That's another thing. Modeling is not going to last forever. So you need to hit the ground while it's hot. You need to make the waves while you can, make the connections while you can, you know. Because shit, 10 years, I'm probably not going to look like this. I might be like fat or some shit. I doubt it. But like, you know, you got to hit the iron while it's hot, make these connections while you can. And that's another thing. There's going to be people there's going to be people on the way out as you're coming in. There's going to be people trying to go out with a bang. There's going to be people trying to pass the torch. People trying to do all of this stuff while they still can. There's going to be people that are desperate because they think they could be going for 3, 4, 5 years and they still haven't made the traction that they want to. You do something for them for free, but this could be something that launches your career into something else. And even if they're desperate, they're really throwing out all these concepts, doing all these films, all of these different concepts, test shoots, whatever they're doing. That could be something that, even though you might not look at it as something as little, this is somebody else. This could be someone else's, like, you know, big shot. This could be someone's like break. So really, like, take that all into accountability whenever you're doing that stuff. Like, just my language, you know.
What's something you see in me that you wouldn't see in, could be either a model, newer experience, or just in general as people?
I don't even say composure. I feel like that's a slept on like trait for people to have, because like this industry is like a rat race. But like I've seen like your attention to detail, everything that you do in your content, and the way that you carry yourself, like very composed. Where a lot of people, like I said, they'll burn out, they'll fizzle out, they wouldn't believe in you. Like, I mean, they wouldn't believe in themselves just because of like analytics or like what they think is like going on. But like, so like your type of composure, you know the vision of like what you're capable of and what you want to do, and like you can map that out perfectly so you can see yourself doing it. A lot of people, they can start out like that, but they cannot finish. They'll get halfway and there'll be like certain like boundaries and barriers and shit. Like they'll get discouraged whenever they see certain things. But like you wouldn't care like seeing like 20 likes on a video. Like that is only like motivation of, you'd see that as not what am I doing wrong, but what else can I do like in the future, because you've had signs of success. So like, what is this? What do I need to change? A lot of people, they'll just drop dead and think it's something that I don't have, rather than actually looking to improve themselves, like trying to make that compromise, that investment, whatever it is that they have to do to make it to the next level. So it's like composure. This is a very like fast-paced industry. Like I said, you're only in it for so long. Like a lot of people, if you're lucky, like I started late. I started whenever I was about like 19, like modeling, kind of like 18, like 19. I wish I started earlier, like maybe around like 16, 17, whenever I was like really getting developed, like my look. But like, depending on your look and stuff, one way depending on everything, skin, like aging, like you might only have like a 10 years, 7 years, 5 years. So yeah, you never know. Yeah, you gotta keep, like, it's a very fast-paced thing, but people that are just trying to like run in and just like I did say, like, you know what I'm saying, hit the ground running. You gotta strike stuff while you're hot. While your agency is marketing you, You need to get test shoots and invest in yourself, all this other stuff. But if you're just like running through like the shit that you're trying to do, then you're not gonna have anything of substance or quality, you know? And I feel like that's like, I can tell you're pretty meticulous with what you do, and you wouldn't like waste time or energy on something that you don't think would pan out, no matter what result you're getting in the moment, because like you see, you know what I'm saying, your goal or grander.
What's the best piece of advice you've received that you would share with me and the world?
Modeling based or like just in general?
Could be modeling based or in general.
Okay, I'll try and think of like one of each. Yeah, okay, as far as modeling, don't celebrate before it happens. Like, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities where you think that something's gonna happen or something might happen, but then it doesn't, just because of last minute shit. Because like I said, you're the model, you're at the client's mercy for everything. Like, there could be you could do that, like you go to a casting, you get the call back, you go to call back, they like you, everything, you know what I'm saying? They tell your manager like, all right, we're gonna go with you for the show, right? And this is, you're talking to the casting director a week, 3 days, a day before the show happens. The designer could say, we're cutting the show from 64 looks, or however many, from 50 looks, 53 looks to 48 looks. So there's 5 people that's not gonna make it. And you've been, like, for the last 2 weeks, shit, you're like, shit, I booked for so-and-so. Yeah, just don't, you know, don't get too happy for that shit happen. This happened to me a couple times where, like, I've gotten a call back, I got this shit, and it looks like I booked a job, and then I ended up telling somebody, like, I remember I told my dad something, and then it came to the thing of where I had everything called back, like, they pretty much said that they booked me. All I was waiting for was like the confirmation, and they was gonna send it about like 3 days before the thing, and then with further details and everything else. And I remember the week before, I told my dad, I was like, yeah, like, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I was telling him, like, hey, I'm finna go to LA, I'm finna do this, and that. He's like, okay, cool. Boom. I took my manager, I was like, yeah, did they hit you with anything? They're like, yeah, so. Yeah, they decided not to go with you. Next day, my dad called me, hey man, we finna go to LA, I can't wait to see you. And I'm like, damn, I don't even know what to tell this dude. Like, I already told this nigga I got this shit. I'm over here trying to come up with some kind of excuse, some bullshit, but it's like, you know, you always at other people's mercy, so you just need to take that in accountability, because you never know why. And like, you might get that text that saying, hey, we're cutting the show, these certain like 5 looks, and your look 53 out of 60, and they're like, we're only going with 48 looks. Now that could not be you. They could be taking look 2, look 7, look 23, look 31, not in order, but you never know how it's gonna pan out. But until you get that confirmation, don't say anything. Like, just be prepared to like really like stay at home, stay like grounded before you think you do anything, because it's an industry of ups and downs, and you never know how shit is really gonna go, you know. In life, my mom always used to say this to me, and I didn't really understand it until now. But it may sound simple, but it has like a lot of layers to it. But she always used to say, no one can make you do what you don't want to do. And on the surface, it was like, what? Like, back then, I didn't really get it. And I wish that she could have explained it to me while she was still here. But it's like, I only realized it after, like, she passed and everything. But pretty much the way that the perspective that I have on life now is like, it goes into so many different things. Like, everything that I do is for me and for others. So, like, why would I do something that I don't want to? Because then if I'm not doing it for me or for the people that I want to, then it's just like someone else taking advantage of me. But it definitely can apply to like modeling as well. But like just in life, like human nature, people are always so just like worried about themselves, just selfish, you know. But there's gonna be people that want to step over you for their personal game. They're gonna want to use you for whatever they want to, whatever plans that they have. But really, you just need to like I said, be grounded. Be grounded in how confident you are and who you are, like in yourself. Just you're gonna have people that are gonna want to like, whether even if it's not even forcing you to do something, asking you to do something. If it's something that doesn't align with your morals, then you can't compromise that. Because once you compromise on something small, like your own core values, then you're gonna see people, even if they don't know that you did that, you're gonna see people coming out of the woodworks to further break that down in you. And that has happened to me where I've given parts of myself that I haven't gotten back, where I've compromised on like my own morals and values. And it's like, it may not show up now, it may not show up like a year or two, but stuff works so weird to where like you never know when it's gonna come back to you. You just need to like stay true to yourself pretty much. Just don't let anybody influence you, make your own decisions. And yeah, that's pretty much that. That goes into another thing where I haven't cared about what anybody else thinks of me unless it's positive. And that's something that I struggle with so much. Like with my self-image, like people see me now and they're like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying, he's this and that, like he's confident, blah blah blah. And it's like, I am, like, but the way I grew up, I was never like that. I was always, I don't know, I never really believed in myself. I didn't like how I looked because I'm growing up, bro, niggas used to make fun of me every single day. I'm talking about every day, about everything, shit I couldn't change. Like, bro, niggas used to every day, and you know who you are, bro. Niggas used to come in there every day making fun of my head shape, making fun of how skinny I was, and this is all shit, bro. I'm a little ass kid. It's like, obviously, them niggas is projecting their own insecurities. They want to look at somebody else's, whatever it is, so they don't have to look in the mirror, look at themselves. But like, bro, I'm telling you, I struggle with that shit so much. Like people, and the same people, like I'm not trying to like be, you know, what's the call about it, but like them same niggas, it's a lot of people that used to talk about me, my looks or whatever, how I dressed and shit. I'm not gonna lie, I did have swag back then. But like shit like that, bro, they used to be talking about that shit, and it's like the key difference from like me now to them now, it's night and day. Cause now I'm not the one that's gonna poke fun or like talk to anybody. It's like my being, my confidence, my look, my everything now, it's like them now, they're receiving the drawbacks of how they used to, like the energy that they used to put out talking about me is like, you can see that in them now. Yeah. These people, they don't really have what they thought they would have going for them. Or if they're talking about me, then it's like, what now, you know? But it's always been something that I've like struggled with. But like now, bro, can't nobody tell me shit, like honestly. Like I don't, but I'm not even like a very like, I'm a very humble person. And some niggas, I know exactly who's gonna say it, but like some niggas wouldn't agree with that. But bro, I'm telling you, you really know, bro, I'm such a humble person. I'm like so much for others. And I'm not trying to say that to like make myself good, but like genuinely, bro, like that's something that like my parents have instilled to me like back then. Cause like where I'm at now, a lot of people, if they was in my shoes, bro, you would see a lot more, like they be showing their ass. Like you be seeing it a lot more. If them same people that was making fun of me, if they were where I'm at now, then like they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. But it's like I'm not satisfied with like where I'm at now, because I still have so much more to do. Like I'm really just at the tip of the iceberg right now, but it's just really the way that I've been raised. Like, and the same way that their energy is coming back at them, of how they used to like treat others with making fun of people or their situations that looks like that, same way that energy is coming back, the way that they used to say that about me and I didn't say anything back to them, I feel like that's now is being how I'm being rewarded, you know, with any blessings that I'm receiving. Like God sees my energy, God sees the nature that I have, regardless of what other people think of me, whether they think I'm humble or not, like God sees my true intentions behind every action I make, and it's like now I'm being rewarded with whatever. Like people see this confidence about me. It's like that's just like God's light shining through me finally. Like it's like He sees that in me now, and it's like He rewards that with me of now that I'm receiving praise. And it's like that was never the intention of how I acted back then or how I acted now, but it's like now I can receive praise for just being me. And I'm not a vain person, but it's like that stuff is gonna happen regardless whenever you get to a certain point of confidence and selflessness, you know. But yeah, just not caring about what others think, like that shit all my life, it changed me for the better. It's made me who I am today. Like I really didn't like start coming into my own until I was about like 17. But before then, like all over the place, you know. Yeah. I feel like that's natural. Some people get it earlier, some people get it later. But whatever time like you get it, it's gonna be the right time.
That's a good thing to say. It's even if it's not now or later, your moment is always gonna be there. It's just a matter of time. No rushing the moment, because when the moment comes, it's like a beam of light.
Yeah, bro. Like whatever God has planned for you, whatever path it is, He didn't just like lay some tracks however you're supposed to go and then just walk away. He's constantly moving shit around. So like He'll know when you're ready for it. There could be a lot of times where you thought you're ready and He's taking shit off the table because you're not. Maybe you're not mentally strong enough. Maybe you need to go through something else, you know, to experience something. But it all happened whenever it does. I have friends like older niggas, like real businessmen, and they've had like 5-6 different concepts, different like inventions, 2 or 3 different restaurants, and it's like the third one that actually stuck. The other ones before, niggas going bankrupt, you know what I'm saying, selling business for little to nothing. Like in everything that you do, like whether if you're making music, like it could take you 2 years of making songs that, you know, until you get a big break. Or like, you know, you're working on your craft and you're thinking like your path is never gonna be linear. You have this shit, you're making music, blah blah blah. Right now, like let's say I made some shit in like 2024, I'll pull out some old files and then I send it to somebody. They fucking with like this beat, and then boom, some shit I did back then and I thought it was like a throwaway. Something I could have like, you know what I'm saying, deleted. That's what's now gonna like spring my career. So like you never know how it's gonna be, but you just need to like, however the path looks, you can't see it, but just keep going. That's
what does longevity look like for a model in today's environment?
Like the first question, second question that we're going, you definitely need to, it's all about connections. It's all about how, like the variety of stuff that you can bring to the table. While you're in here being a model, like you need to look at all the different aspects that it takes for a model. Whenever you're just in front of the camera, you need to look at everything. Like I said, different, like what stylists are doing, what stylists are looking for, like that, what casting directors are looking for, like a lot of, because you're not gonna be pretty forever. So once you get to the end of that, my looks are no longer there, you need to have stuff set up to where you can go to many different avenues. Like my manager right now, he's been in the industry for so long, but like you'll never guess. Like I mean, shit, he big as hell now. He a little old, but like back in his day, he was a real model. He was same build. He fit the same niche just as me. Skinny, bald face, editorial runway. He was doing all that. But then whenever he got to the point of, you know, he wasn't able to do that anymore, he had many different avenues, and it took him a while to get to where he is now, managing all these different talents for acting, commercial modeling, runway, editorial, you know, beauty, music, like singers. He has everybody in this bubble because he's also made these different connections whenever he was in the industry. He started off, he told us a story of like whenever he met this one, whenever he met this one, I think it was a casting director, or like someone that works for this agency. And he met her like while he was backstage steaming clothes, like literally just steaming clothes for some of the stuff. And she met him there talking to him, and it's like he got crazy opportunities just from that. But you really need to branch out and then see like every like aspect of what you're doing, because there's always gonna be a need for it. There's always gonna be different opportunities whenever you get to that point. Because like I said, he was a model. He did all the stuff that he's in the exact same place that I am now. And now he manages all these talents. He has a very successful managerial and like mother agency, which is J3 Productions. Shout out J3. But like, he's doing this. Also, he puts on the best shows in Dallas. Like, as far as like actual like runway shows, like we did the Dallas Arboretum, and that was like a crazy like runway show. And the concepts and stuff that he's learned throughout being in like all the stuff that he's seen, you pick up little bits and pieces of it to where whenever you're at the end, you're carrying so much to where you can walk to whatever else you want to do. So like, it's definitely just about, you know, picking up what you can. You're always like, and this, you're always going to be a student, whether it's learning, you know, all the different stuff that I just learned. Like, you need to always make sure that you're learning and retaining information, because you don't know what that's going to lead to in the future.
Have you seen any of my videos?
Yeah.
What do you think about the content I'm creating and the vision I have?
Like, bro, not even gonna lie, a lot of the stuff that you've been doing, like I've thought about doing like same type of videos, and it's like I'm glad that you are actually doing that shit. Cause like I said, bro, I've been having to get content and shit rolling for like so long, but I just haven't. But like the actual content and stuff, back to like I said, your composure and how meticulous you are, like. The videos are very well thought out, like, to where even if it's like some funny shit, like some vlog shit, like, you know, regardless of the entertainment factor being there, there'd be like something that people could usually apply to, like, apply to themselves. Even if it's something they might not notice them, but it's like something that, you know, that it can help them see something else about themselves, you know? Even if it's like small shit about like, you know, clothes or like I don't know, it really just depends. But like, as a whole, I like the variety of content that you do, both short form and long form. But yeah, like, I see you still in like the early stages. So I'm excited to see like what else you have in the future. Like, what else you have in store in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
And anything else you want to add? You want to ask me or say? Or before we go?
I'll say in modeling and in life, you need to figure out your why. The why you want to do something. Because without your why, you're not going to have any direction or any purpose of like what you want to do, what you want to try. Like, a lot of people that want to get into modeling or whatever, and they're saying shit like, oh, like, I'm doing it because I like fashion, or, you know, I'm doing it because I think I look good. Like, I feel like you really need to have like real dedication or actual like reason why. As far as why you want to do something. I mean, that goes for everything. Like, the same thing, like, you don't want to just fucking go to college and then like you're just going to go, you don't really know what you want to major in, you don't have any type of direction, you're gonna be wasting your time. But like for me, my reason for like why I got into modeling and stuff, well, how I actually did it, it was crazy. I was at work one day and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking I'm looking crazy, and then there was a Dallas designer named Munisa Kermova. She has the brand Munel de Vie. Her shit is real fire. And then she was with her friend Rush. Shout out Rush. Like, actually one of the most genuine people I know, and like I wouldn't be doing what I am right now if it wasn't for him. He's a photographer, crazy photographer. He just moved out to New York. I hope I see him soon, but he literally gave me the jump start and like the inspiration to do modeling. Like I was literally sitting there, and she was talking about like how she needed some like lookbook work done for her brand for tomorrow. She has a client and she needed to do like some arm body and like some different stuff. And at this point, I haven't done a lick of modeling ever. And I'm sitting here scruffy, like my hair, I'm pretty sure I had twist outs. I'm looking crazy, like, and I'm in like shorts and a shirt. And then she goes like, have you ever thought about modeling? And I was like, shit, nah. And then like before she asked that, like they like looked at each other, they like locked eyes. And then I was sitting there, I'm like, bro, what do these niggas got going on? they like locked eyes. And then they like turned and then like he probably said something like, hey, you probably use him. Because they were probably just now talking about, you know, getting stuff like, because she does a lot of really not like high quality stuff, cut and sewn, everything. Like it was this dress shirt that I ended up trying on. But they were like, yeah, so you never thought about mine? I was like, well, I mean, I've thought about it, but I've never done anything. They were like, so would you want to do something for our brand tomorrow? And I'm like, y'all for real? Like, y'all being serious? And they're like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, hell yeah. Bro, I went home, I got my hair done. I shaved, I did everything. I made sure I was like looking good. And I pulled up literally the next day. It was, we went to her apartment. It's a high rise in downtown Dallas. And it was a crazy experience. Like, Russia's crazy behind the camera. And like Munisa, like her vision that she has for her brand and everything is like crazy. But mind you, bro, I went in there stiff as shit. I didn't know what I was doing at all, like whenever it came to modeling. So I went, and there while I'm on set, like bro, I pulled up, I didn't have a modeling bag, I didn't have nothing. They're trying to teach me, they're like literally teaching me how to pose as I'm there. And like, you can only teach so much in fucking 10 minutes. So I'm trying to learn on the spot. They're doing everything. And I'm nervous as hell, bro. I can't even lie, bro. I was sweating like shit. I've never done anything. It's like, rule number one, you can't be sweating in the garments. Like, this is supposed to be for a client, bro. So then, like, literally, I had to, like, put on an undershirt and shit, like, while I was shooting. Bro, I'm telling you, I was nervous. I never did anything. I'm on the elevator up. I'm like, I hit, like, floor 25. I'm on my way up and like, bro, my heart is pounding. Like, I'm actually shaking. I'm like, bro, I've never done anything like this. I barely even know these two people. Like, I just met them yesterday.
You don't know what the fuck you're walking.
That's what I'm saying. I could be getting set up. My kitty could be going tomorrow. But I'm like, shit. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna just lean into it. Like, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do. And then I got there and like they was so nice. Like, they're literally teaching me. And I'm like seeing Munisa, like she's teaching me how to pose. Cause she's done modeling and stuff apart from having her brand, and she's done modeling and stuff, and I'm just watching her. It's just like so effortless, just the way that she moves in front of the camera. Cause like modeling is a real skill. Like I thought, you know what I'm saying, it'd be like some simple shit, but like modeling is definitely a skill like that you need to like hone. It's times where I just set up the tripod and you just need to put yourself in front of a camera, see how you photograph, stuff like that. Like really like work on your poses, body movement, facial features, all that shit. And it's like, you can tell night and day from someone that has and hasn't. But they teach me that, and then like, I don't even know like how I'm supposed to stand, like my posture. They're literally teaching me, they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just on set. They're like literally grabbing my leg and like moving it like this, kicking my feet to like the sides where I look like right, picking my chin up, everything. Like, I just felt like a mannequin. Like, they're literally just moving me around. But like since then, that was like my first thing, and I never thought that I'd be like having opportunities and stuff that I do now. I'm fucking signed. Like I signed in LA and New York back to back in like a month span, which is like usually unheard of, especially for at this point I had been modeling probably about like for like taking it seriously for about 6 months. So like I got those two back to back, and I'm like, bro, like this shit doesn't feel real. But like shout out Russ, he definitely worked in developing me, like in my early stages before I was signed with my manager and everything. We would just go to like little restaurants and shit. We'd get like a couple other friends, do like some random test shoots, just some photo shoots, just getting behind the camera, getting comfortable. But like he was the first person to like really like say like he believed in me, you know? So like shout out him. I definitely got to link with my boy soon. Cause like next time I'm in New York, bro, I'm telling you, like I wouldn't be here without him. Him calling me up, getting me behind the camera, saying that he believed in me. That shit like that, like that, like, you know. And that, like, that's how I started modeling. But like, the reason why I've wanted to model is like, it's like a lot deeper meaning. Like, so I'm Trinidadian. Like, my parents, you know what I'm saying? Both my parents from Trinidad. You know, first generation immigrants and stuff. Whenever they first came to America, like we moved to New York as all Caribbeans do. We did New York or Florida whenever we came to America. But we stayed in Brooklyn. My dad, he came over here like months before the rest of my family to, you know, shit, put in that pain to get some money up and all that. You know, he was working like 2 jobs when he first came. And then my mom, whenever her and my 2 older sisters first came, my mom, she was working 2-3 jobs. But so like I said earlier, bro, I look just like my mom. Like I want to pull up pictures and shit, but like everything, like my side profile, my facial structure, everything, just like my mom. And my mom, she was like 6 foot, and she was like tall, slim. She's like that ideal. She was like the ideal build. She still is. She still was like the ideal build for like model, like runway model. Like if she had the luxury of like pursuing that career rather than having to work like all those different jobs and like sacrifice for us, if she did that, she probably would have been the biggest shit out, like no lie. But she just didn't have that opportunity. And then like even whenever we moved down to Texas a little bit after, like she was still having to put feet on the pavement and provide. She never really had the opportunity to do that. But now I feel like this is, and I mean, she can't anymore now that she unfortunately like recently passed. But now I feel like it's like my chance to really like put her face out there and to like, I don't know, like, yeah, to put her face out there and to, for both of us to, cause I know she's still here with me in spirit, but for her to like walk the path that she could have, cause like she would have been the best out, like no doubt. But I really feel like, you know, it's my time to like put us out there, put my family name, put her image, you know, out there the way that she wasn't able to, because she sacrificed all of that for me to be able to do what I'm doing now. And all, like, this is my only thing that I have going, but it's like I'd like to do this for her, because she did tell me about, she always talk about how she could have did modeling and all this like back then, and then, you know, she brought it up to me before, like whenever I was younger and all that, about me possibly doing it. And I didn't think, I was like, what, like it's not something I could do. But like now it's like that's really my why. And like whenever people see the success or whatever that I have going, then they'll wonder, like, I just want people to know, like, it's really like a lot of meaning. It's a lot of pain behind like why I want this shit. So while people like criticize me or be jealous of me or like say that I'm moving like too fast, or how did he do this already when I wasn't able to do this? It's like, I don't think people, if you had that why for yourself, then you wouldn't be asking yourself that, or you wouldn't be like looking at other people while, you know, you're supposed to have your own thing going. But definitely, one thing I can say, definitely find your why and just apply that to how you're living. And that'll further inspire other people to find their why. Whenever people see that you have something that is dear to you, something that you could dig into, something that, you know, that people might not know what it is, but they know that you have something. Like, you can't really conceptualize it. You can't really put it into words. But people will see that and then they'll know you can inspire others without words, without, you know, anything like an actual concept. People can just see it, feel it. It's something that you can feel, that why. But yeah, just find your why. That's the last thing.
Oh yeah, bro. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.